G'day, Brock here from Window Cleaning World. I just thought I'd shoot a quick video to have another look over the Excion TT1. We've had these out for over a year now, and we have quite a few of them out there in customers' hands, being used even daily. I know that our very first unit that we sold to Sydney Sparkles, if you're on his Instagram, you'll see he uses that thing I think every day. He's using it all the time. So that unit hasn't even come back for service. I don't think he's had to make any repairs to it. So that's really great news for us, especially, being a product that we've designed and built in-house. We've been really happy with them. So if you haven't seen this before, this is a Excion unit that we built here at Window Cleaning World. It has a 25 litre tank on the front there. Now, we've designed this pan to make it really easy to be able to grab an empty drum out and put a new full drum in. Basically, any kind of liquid that you want to move, whether it's up a water-fed pole or however you want to use it, that's what this unit can do. So 25 litre drum there, quickly swap out full and empty ones. You just got quick connects up the top here. I've got this rigged up with water just going back into the unit so I can give you guys a demonstration in this video. On the underside, we have the SureFlow pump mounted right there. These have been really reliable. We use them on our Excion RO units also. Here we have our lithium battery, which has a nice little aluminium cradle with padding all around it to help with vibrations and any shocks or anything like that. But yeah, these pumps have been really good. I think we've replaced one because a customer accidentally broke this port off here. But out of, I'm not sure how many units we've sold, but quite a lot of them. Only one that's gone bad, only because of a breakage here. They've been really good so far. They're 107 PSI, 12 volt pump. And with this battery, I did some testing last year. I think I ran about 17 hours at about 25% pump speed, which with a 2-jet brush, one of the Gardner brushes at the 2mm jets that come with it, that'll empty this tank in about 15 minutes at about 25% pump speed. And that is a really nice flow for just regular window cleaning. A lot of customers have been using these for soft washing also. So we're actually working on a new nozzle that can be quickly adapted to quick lock tips. So your Gardner tips, even it should work with the wheel lock tips if you've already got one of those. And not much has changed with the units over the year, but I have updated the designs of the 3D printed parts. So if you're not familiar with those, we used to have a clip-on style clip here to keep the hose in a nice neat position here. But the clip-on style, it wasn't quite strong enough. We don't need too many of these, so we just continue to 3D print them. But now they're zip tied on, and they've been really strong, really reliable with that. The one thing that got beefed up a lot was the shield here for the AccuFlow pump controller. So this is really beefed up now. It's very strong. We haven't had to replace any of those yet, so that's really good news with that. With these units in particular, these have the one shot. So this is the receiver for the one shot. So then this is the remote here, so you can turn the unit on and off, and we'll demonstrate that shortly. On the back here is the charge port, which is a mini Anderson plug. Great thing about this unit is you can actually charge it and use it at the same time if you're a bit low or if you got to charge it the night before. They also have 2 blade fuses for the circuit protection. So we have a blade fuse here, and then there's one tucked down here for the power supply. Now, if you're using this unit and this lights up, but you're actually not getting any flow, it can be this fuse. I have seen it happen once out of all the units we've got out there. But you need to check your fuse. If you've still got power here, but it's not actually pumping, then this could be the issue. You could have a blockage somewhere. So, you need to check your taps. And this unit works really well when you use a minimal amount of pole tube, whether it be an 8mm or a 10mm pole tube. Or you can use a short amount of hose. We've found that for some reason using really long lengths of hose, the pressure can build up too much, and the dead end protection in the pump or the AccuFlow unit will actually kick on and stop your pump from working. So I'm going to turn it on here and just give you a quick run through of how to turn the unit on and actually use it. So like I said before, we've just got some pole tube and it's just running back into the tank, so we can give you a demonstration here. So on this unit, we flick the switch on. So this one here, you flick that on and that gives main power to the pump controller here. Now you can just press this button, but you'll notice a quick press doesn't do it. You have to hold it for about half a second, and then we've got flow on. So that 1.6 means 16, about 16% pump speed. And you can simply press up when you want more pressure or more flow. Here there's a little bit of air in the system, it's purging that out. There we go, so that's running, and this will go all the way up to 99. So you have from 0 to 99 to select from. One really interesting application we sold to a customer, he does pest control, and with a certain tip that he was using, we actually found that just 1%, so a number 1 on here, was actually all he needed for doing pest control. So he was using an extension pole, and he needed to spray some pest control chemicals up, I think it was a few stories on the side of a building. So we're running at about 33% here. If you press the up button here and the sideways button, which they call enter, if you hold that for a sec, you'll get BAT, which is your battery level. So we're about 13.1 volts at the moment. When these are fully charged, they're about 13.5, maybe 13.7 roughly. And when you've used the unit, I think it will cut out, you won't be able to use it if it drops below about 12.7 volts, I believe. But again, you'd be pretty hard pressed to run this battery out in one day. You'd need to be running it at like 100% pump speed. And for the applications that we've seen this being used, 100% pump speed is just too much. You'll run through tanks really quick. So it's really good to be able to use the pump at half capacity. It's going to help it to last longer and not wear out the pump. So how does the remote work? Really simple. It's a simple on-off remote. So I think there's about 30 to 50 meters of range. It might just vary where you're using it. But if we click it, P5, that's just code for the one-shot remote has been worked. So the remote has told the unit to shut off. And if we hit it again, we can hear the pump ramp up again there. Now, one other thing to touch on, these are actually a really popular pump controller. They're really big in the UK. It's made by a company called Spring. This is a Spring V16 pump controller. They did a custom faceplate for us as we needed to order so many of them. So one thing to talk about is dead end. And what dead end is a protection for your pump. So if you are using this and you don't have a remote, or you need to just shut the water off, even if you just crimp your pole tube, or you have a tap that you're using to turn the water flow off, I'll demonstrate it here by crimping the hose, and what you'll notice is the pump will just shut off as soon as it registers the high pressure. So I'll close that off now. And you can see on the screen there, DE, that stands for dead end. And if I let it go, the pump ramps up again. Now, you can actually adjust this dead end. There's an automatic and a manual way to do this. So if you hold both of these, you'll get CAL, which stands for calibration, and it's currently set at 50. Now, if you hold this all the way down, you'll get AUT, and that stands for automatic. You'll press the enter button. It's going to go through an automatic calibration cycle. So what it's doing is it's checking for the back pressure, any pressure in the system because of the hose, and it's going to calibrate. It's already done it at 23. So that is set up for that pole tube just there. Now it's going to be different for every application. It's going to be different for the pole that the tube that you're using, the tip that you're using. So it's good to do an automatic calibration when you change the setup if you're going to use a different hose. Now, if you find that you're getting some back pressure and you're just working, you're not actually restricting the flow, and it's cutting out, you might find you need to push the dead end up so the pump doesn't cut out. So again, this is a protection for your pump to take care of it. But the way you manually adjust it, again, you hold the up and the sideways arrow, and you can simply bump up those numbers. So about 60 there, we'll save that. And if I block this hose off, again, it'll still stop the pump. It will just take more back pressure or restriction to shut that pump off. So most applications, you'll probably need the dead end at about 30 or 40, maybe 50. It depends on the application, but keep your hose short. This is a mobile unit. It's meant to be, moved around the job with you. So you don't want to be using, 80 meters of hoses. But yeah, that's a quick overview on how to adjust the dead end. Squeaky Clean Dave on YouTube has a really good video explaining dead end even further than I have just now. He's got way more knowledge and experience with these pieces over there in England. The unit also features the adjustable handle, so you can adjust that up and down. And something else that we found that was really cool when we built these units is if you take this quick connect off, you can actually stack a second tank on top of it. So essentially you can carry 50 liters of chemical, of pre-purified water, whatever liquid you need to move. You can essentially carry 50 liters to the job. You will need to take the second tank off and leave it on the ground so you can connect the riser tube and the quick connect again. But that was a really cool thing we didn't even know about until we built the unit and said, hey, let's put a second tank on top and see how it goes. So if you need to take a lot of water to the job, you can definitely do that. So as I was saying before, we've been really happy with these units. They've proved to be a really effective for use where you don't have a water supply. Again, if you're using it for soft washing, you can do that. A lot of guys have been using it for that. It's obviously not a big, robust, like a skid on the back of a trailer for soft washing, if that's what you're trying to achieve. But if you're just starting out and you're doing the odd house now and then, this can be a really effective way and somewhat affordable to do a bit of soft washing and get into it. Perhaps it can be a unit to start out with to do some soft washing. You can then save up and get yourself a more serious unit like the NWC soft wash skid, or from one of the other big dogs out there. They've got much bigger skids with much bigger price tags. So that is a quick look over the Exxon TT1 about a year in, and this is pretty much how they'll be for a little while. And thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, please pop a comment down below. You can call us at the shop whenever we're open, or even send us an email. Thanks for watching and have a great one.